أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي وابن سيدي يا أبا عبد الله الحسين، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة. سادتي يا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما. Before we start, inshallah, I would like to request us all to recite the Fatiha for, first and foremost, Amin, the brother and the family sponsoring the Majlis tonight, Brother Arif Haidar and his family, and for Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, those serving, those attending. MashaAllah, beautiful recitations today, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, all of them. Quran, poetry, remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remembrance of the Prophet alayhi salatu wa salam. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the rewards. For them, for Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, for the qada of our hawaj, for the fulfillment of our hajat, and of course, for the hastening and the reappearance of our Imam, al-Imām al-Murtaza. رحم الله الفاتحة مع الصلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Alhamdulillah. Last night, we had the blessing of speaking about an important topic, which was aligning our intentions, aligning our hearts with the satisfaction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, satisfaction of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, and satisfaction of that Nabi alayhi salatu wa salam, which is especially important to discuss in these Majālis. And of course, we come to the Majālis wishing and hoping to come closer to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, to come closer to Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wa salam, whom we mention in these Majālis, whom we remember in these Majālis, to recite poetry for him, his companions, his family. What a blessing it would be, what an honor it would be to be united with them, inshallah. And perhaps, if we're given the tawfiq, with the grandson of Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wa salam, the Imam, ta'ala farajah al-Sharif. Now it's very important also, as we referred to last night, to take this intention of ours and have our actions reflect those intentions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, in Surah Al-Ankabut, أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Do people think that they can say that we're believers, or mu'mineen, or Shia, without being tested? You think this claim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees that we make this claim, we're Shia, we're followers of the Holy Prophet, followers of his family, and that goes by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Allah says they think they can make this claim and not be tested. وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّ الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِهِمْ. We have tested those before them. Everyone throughout time, as we mentioned, these tests, being with the prophets, being with the Imams, always in a test. Always in a test. Many people throughout history claim one thing, their actions say something else. People of Kufa especially mention these stories in Muharram. People of Kufa, of course, invited the Imam to come. And they said that, you're coming here, and the fruits are ready, we have supporters here, we have troops, thousands of troops. Where were they? If not fighting the Imam in Karbala physically, the very least they did was betray the Imam, didn't support him. Words are easy. Words are easy. Actions are what show our true intentions. Actions are what differentiate the one who just claims and the one who leads it. Actions. Al-Imām Ja'far ibn Muhammad he says in two ziyarat narrated back to him of Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam. The ziyarat of Sayyid al-Shuhada are beautiful. They are schools in and of themselves. Each and every ziyarat must be studied. We read the ziyarats, we recite them, was also ponder upon the meanings. Two ziyarats. One of them is a general ziyarat, which we have, they call them ziyarat mutlaqa, meaning a ziyarat we mention any time, any day, any night, no specific day to it. These are to be recited. There are many of them, mashallah, alhamdulillah, we have many of them. And some of them, though, are ziyarat mukhtasar, they're specific for a certain day, certain night. For example, the nights of Qadr, for example, the night of the 15th of Sha'ban, for example, the day of Ashura, for example, the day of Arba'in. All these days have a specific ziyarat. Beautiful words, all of them. And two of them we find two similar phrases of the Imam. The Imam is speaking to his forefather, his grandfather, Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam. He says to him, Labbayka da'i Allah. Say Labbayka ya Husain. The Imam says, Labbayka da'i Allah. Da'i Allah is the person who calls to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as da'i Allah. أجيبوا داعي الله استجيبوا لداعي استجيبوا له إذا دعاكم لما يحييكم. Respond to the call of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam when he calls you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When he calls you to things that will benefit you both in this world and in the afterlife. The Holy Prophet is like this, and indeed all of them are like this. They are our connections to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. من أراد الله بدأ بكم ومن وحده قبل عنكم ومن قصده توجه بكم. أو أهل البيت, whoever wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, starts with you. They are the middlemen to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are our wasila. Our approach to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is through them. من أراد الله بدأ بكم ومن وحده قبل عنكم. One who is a true muwahhid, a true monotheist, except from you, Ahl al-Bayt. And there are many, many details to this line. And we can see how those who sit from Ahl al-Bayt, look at their tawheed. وَمَنْ قَصَدَهُ مُتَوَجِّهًا بِكُمْ. Whoever goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whoever truly wants to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they go through Muhammad and Ali Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Imam says, Labbayk da'i Allah. Labbayk, I'm at your service, O caller to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We always say this to his forefather. إن كان لم يجبك بدني عند استغاثتك. أو he says here, إن كان لم يجبك بدني فقد أجابك قلبي وشعري وبشري ورأيي وهواي. O caller to Allah, Ya Sayyid al-Shuhada. If I wasn't there to help you in Karbala, I wasn't there in Ashura to help you and to respond to your call when you're saying, هل من ناصر ينصرنا؟ هل من ذاب يجبك عن حرم رسول الله? Is there no one to come and to help the family of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to defend the family of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? If I wasn't there to answer your call there in Karbala and Ashura, then I'm responding to you now. What's responding to? What's responding to you? Everything. Everything of my body. First of all, my heart responds to your call. My heart, we spoke of the heart last night, and how that heart must be united with Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam. My heart. And then he goes into details, and he mentions the smallest parts of our bodies. He says, my hair responds to you, Sayyid al-Shuhada. Everything responds to you. I'm complete submission to you, Ya Aba Abdullah. Every single part of my body, I use it to respond to you, Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam. Wa bashari, my skin responds to you, Sayyid al-Shuhada. Wa ra'i, my opinions, anything I prefer is that which you prefer. Anything I love is that which you love, Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam. And then another ziyarah, that's the ziyarah of one of the general ziyarahs mentioned throughout the year. This one is also in the first night or the first day of Rajab, this next one, and also the night of the 15th of Sha'ban. He says, Labbayka da'i Allah, إن كان لم يجدك بدني عند استغاثتك. If I wasn't there يا سيد الشهداء to answer your call in Karbala, ولساني عند استنصارك, and to respond to you with my tongue, فقد أجابك قلبي وسمعي وبصري. Then my heart, my eyes, and my ears all respond to you. Question is, how is that so? How can we respond with our complete existence to Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wassalam? Of course, there's a lot to talk about, but we'll limit it inshallah tonight. Each and every one of our body parts has its own right. Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salatu wassalam,
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad,
has a beautiful, beautiful risala, a treaty or treatise, Risalat al-Huquq, letter of rights, the right of Allah, the right of the Imam, the right of parents, the right of spouse, right of children, so on and so forth. That's one thing. Then he says the right of your tongue, the right of your eyes, the right of your hands, the right of your feet. All of these things, you have to use them the correct way. You have to use them in the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from you, the way that the Imam wants from you. Every one of them. And the Imam explains it beautifully, each and every one of them. And inshallah, this is something we need to all not only recite and read every once in a while, but study. Study and look how we can respond to the call of Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wassalam with every one of our body parts. One of them, and inshallah we'll speak of the eyes and the ears tonight, and we'll explain other ones inshallah.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
The Imam says, as far as the right of the ears, this is for me, this is for you all, youth, elders, men, women, children, all of us. With all of ears, this is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How should we use it? وَأَمَّا حَقُّ السَّمْعِ, as far as the rights of your hearing on you, the right of our hearing on you, فَتَنْزِيهُهُ أَن تَجْعَلَهُ طَرِيقًا إِلَىٰ قَلْبِكَ إِلَّا لِفُوهَةٍ كَرِيمَةٍ تُحْدِثُ فِي قَلْبِكَ خَيْرًا أَوْ تَكْسِبُ خُلُقًا كَرِيمًا. The right of your hearing is that you don't let anything in it except that which improves your akhlaq, and that which guides you to the right path and takes you to the right path and establishes some good in your heart. Nowadays, there are many different things out there we can listen to, and especially with this thing over here, this phone. Everything you want, anything you want. It's all there, and it's always been there. Now it's only in the form of this phone. But there's always been people, always been different gatherings, always been different reciters we could listen to. Question is, who do you listen to? What do you let in this ear? This blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as the Imam will explain, it can be used to make you better, or not whether or not God forbid to make you worse. Be very picky with what you let come into these ears. Very picky. Anything that takes you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, takes you away from Ahlul Bayt, and even things that just waste your time. Nowadays we may find ourselves spending hours and maybe in a day, and then that all adds up. Listening to things, listening to people. If not those people directly damage us and damage our beliefs and our akhlaq, at the very least they're a waste of time. There's millions and thousands and so on hours of content. You have to be very particular to listen to. Instead of listening to, for example, let's say in gatherings, not these gatherings, alhamdulillah. Gatherings, ghibah, gossip, backbiting. It's very rampant. Very widespread. In that majlis, in that gathering, majlis means gathering, good or bad. That is the good one, of course. In that gathering, if we start to hear ghibah, backbite, gossip, one talking about a mu'min, fellow mu'min, lying, even telling the truth, even saying something truthful about somebody, which they don't want people to know about, that's not allowed. Even if it's truthful. how the lies. Not just the person saying it, the person sitting there and listening and enjoying, or not saying anything about it. Don't go to those gatherings. If they're good people, otherwise, tell them, listen, this is not right. This person's a good person. What you're saying is, they wouldn't want you to say that about them. Especially if they're lying, of course. Very big. Gossip. For example, music. Depending on the marja as well, of course. Music, same thing. And only God knows the different types of music out there today. What kind of stuff is said in them. We may think it's innocent, it's just a song, it's just a rap, it's just something I listen to, it's nice, it makes me feel nice. We think it's innocent. But if you pay attention to the lyrics, to the words of these songs, only Allah knows what kind of thoughts they're trying to bring to us. You may think it's innocent, it's not innocent. It's not innocent. Careful, they're very careful of what they put out. Be careful with what you put into your ears. And so on and so forth. People who use excessive vulgar language, people with dirty tongues, dirty mouths, foul mouths. Don't associate with people who are always saying words which you cannot say anywhere else, saying words which bring down the status of somebody, bring you down, and so on and so forth. Empty, useless words, people who are deviant, and we may say, this is just somebody, I want to see what they have to say. And we make ourselves, excused about listening to everybody that's online. What does he have to say? Especially when it comes to matters of aqidah and beliefs, matters of akhlaq, matters of ahkam, be very quickly. Al-Imām Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salatu wasalam, he says in a very beautiful hadith, you can't speak about whatever you like. لأن الله عز وجل يقول لا تقف ما ليس لك به علم. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not say things, do not speak about things which you have no knowledge of. And then he says, وَلَيْسَ لَكَ أَن تَسْمَعَ مَا شِئْتَ. You can't go and listen to everything you want, anything you like, anything that you find attractive, anything that you find interesting, that makes you feel good. لأن الله عز وجل يقول, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, hearing, eyesight, and your heart, you'll be responsible for everything you let in them. Everything. So what's the other option? Those are the things you should stay away from. What should we listen to? First and foremost, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The words of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The words of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. First and foremost. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says in Hajjat al-Wada, the farewell pilgrimage, أيها الناس إني قد تركت فيكم ما إن تمسكتم به لن تضلوا بعدي أبدا. Oh people, I'm leaving behind two things. If you hold on to them, they'll never go astray. Kitab Allah wa Atrati Ahlul Bayt. The Book of Allah and the progeny of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What's our relationship like with these two? Quran, how often do we recite them? If we can't recite it ourselves, how often do we listen to it? These words are the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The greatness of any words is heavily based off the greatness of the one who spoke them. The words of Allah. These are the words of our Creator, the all-wise, the all-knowing, the all-sustaining, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The words of the Hujjaj and the proofs and the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, and Ahlul Bayt alayhi wa salatu wa salam. How familiar are we with their words? With their words. Al-Imām alayhi wa sallallahu wa sallam alayhi. He said that if people knew, if people knew the beauty of our words, if people knew the gems that we have for them, surely they would have followed us. And this responsibility is on us first and foremost. That's getting ourselves familiar with their words, with their hadith, with their words of advice, with their du'as, and mentioning them all the time. Mentioning them not just to ourselves, to one another. Mentioning them to those who are non-Muslim, non-Shia. A single sentence of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam or his family, the Imams, can change somebody's whole life, whole perspective. Get familiar with these words. Listen to them. Quran, dua, ziyarah. Similarly, advice. Listening to advice from those elders, those who have experience, those who know how life is. This is for the youth especially, us. We have our elders, Allah bless them, our parents, our teachers, and so on. Listen to what they have to say. And if they themselves don't say it directly sometimes, go ask them, say, hey, what do you know about this and this? I'm going to, for example, take this certain path. I'm thinking of doing this. What's some advice you have? Especially for the bigger things. Marriage, for example, studying, for example. Going out and associating with friends, colleagues, and so on and so forth. Take a listen to what they have to say. Similarly, these Majālis, alhamdulillah, attending these gatherings, attending these Majālis in which the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is all we have. That's all we have. The words of Allah, words of be very quickly what you have. Enter this age. صلوا على محمد وعلى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
Similarly, eyesight. What do I look at? Do I look at the Holy Quran and Hadith? Do I look at nature? This is very important as well. Going out there and seeing the beauties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. Mountains, rivers, valleys, trees, and so on and so forth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of the hayat, the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of them, the skies, the trees, the mountains. Similarly, taking lessons from every life situation, everyday situations in life. Take a look. When you see somebody doing something, of course, it's not something so private. Take lessons from people around you. People around you, for good or bad. Because, as they say, it's better to take lessons from somebody else than to become a lesson yourself. From others to know. People have experienced these things we're experiencing. Take a lesson from them. These eyes have to stay pure. Using these eyes as al-Imām says, using them for Islam. He says, وَأَمَّا حَطُّ بَصَرِكَ فَغَضُّهُ عَمَّا لَا يَحِلُّ لَكَ. The right of your eyesight is to lower it from anything that's haram for you to look at. Of course, we all think, first and foremost, we think of opposite gender, or even similar gender, but the parts that should not be looked at. And those details are there. Lower your gaze. Lower your gaze. Women, men, both of them. فَغَضُّهُ عَمَّا لَا يَحِلُّ لَكَ. Lower it. Lower it. وَتَرْكُ ابْتِدَالِهِ إِلَّا لِمَوْضِعِ عِبْرَةٍ تستقبل بها بصرا أو تستفيد بها علما فإن البصر باب الاعتبار. And using it, as we said, using your eyes to learn from things around you. Because the eyes, as the Imam says, are the door to learning lessons in this life. Be very careful. Be very careful. Some examples are here. Looking into others' privacy. Looking into other people's private life. That applies to this as well. Most al-Imām say that you're not allowed to look at somebody's phone without their permission. Unless, for example, some very urgent situations where things might get worse and you have to look, the parents especially. This is property as well. Respecting the privacy of others. Very important. Very important. This eyes, blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be very picky with that. صلوا على محمد وعلى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
The Imam says, as you mentioned, I wasn't there in Karbala to respond to you with my tongue and to answer your call. Now, in my time, every part of my body responds to you. Similarly, we have the tongue. Oh, this tongue can do wonders. And it could ruin lives too. The tongue, every single word, every single letter. Think about it before you speak. Especially in anger. Sometimes you get angry with siblings, with friends, with mu'mineen, with mu'minats, whom we have a good relationship our whole lives. But a word or a sentence in an angry moment can ruin it, can ruin the relationships. Very big root tongue. Similarly, for example, with siblings, I know this is something very common as well. We tend to say some hurtful words towards one another, maybe because we get too comfortable. This is my family, they won't take it seriously. What if they do? This is your brother, this is your sister. And now you just said something to them, which they'll keep in their heart. Inshallah, this is none of us, which they'll keep in their heart, and that'll affect the relationship. Salat al-Rahim, keeping these connections and ties with family is so important. So important. And one of the ways we can extend our lives and have blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and barakat come is by keeping our connection with our family strong. And this will be difficult if somebody is always saying hurtful words towards them. Between spouses as well, between siblings, thanking them for whenever they do something. And especially, same thing with spouses, between spouses, thanking them for their help in the house, thanking them for doing extra. And mashallah, alhamdulillah, in families, that they don't do just the obligations, they do the extra. They're always doing extra for their families, for the spouse, for the children, so on and so forth. One sentence of appreciation towards them, thanking them, and same with mu'mineen and mu'minat, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, I've been blessed with meeting these beautiful families and beautiful community. You don't know how powerful these words are. Thanking them, making dua for them. Say, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, may Allah give you tawfiq. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the tawfiq and blessing to always serve the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa and his family. His words appreciated. Think before you speak. Ears as well. Eyes as well. Hands. Hands. They can do a lot as well. Use his hands, especially the youth. Use this energy. Use the strength. And inshallah, I'm a young man as well. Using the strength you have, helping out others in need. If you see somebody struggling, even if it's something small, help out. Don't think, only if they call me, only if they ask me, I'll go help them. I'll go help them. Go. You're the one who should go and take the initiative to go help out. That's for smaller things. For example, in these centers as well, alhamdulillah, seeing if anybody needs help in the center, anybody in the community who needs help, offer yourself. Offer yourself. Make some time in your schedule. Make some free time to go out and help others. Going out, helping those in need of the community. Going out, for example, if there's ever events or projects being done nearby. Going out and helping those in need, especially now we have, for example, the migrants are coming from Palestine. They're here as well. Using the strength, using this energy, using your connections. Using your connections, using your social status, using your place in the community to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to serve Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam, which we all want to do. And inshallah, alhamdulillah, we're all doing. All of these are ways in which we can answer the call of Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Similarly, the tongue, it takes another form as well. Nowadays, we don't have to say something. You can say a whole lot without even using this tongue. Using this phone right now. You have them. Phone, iPad, computer, all the same thing. Using them to clear people's misconceptions, for example. to keep those ties as family, for example, sending salams on the mu'mineen, seeing how they're doing, asking if everything is well, asking if they need help, and so on and so forth. Writing out, for example, if you see forms of oppression taking place around the world, or in our community as well, at the very least, we can say something. We can raise some awareness. And the Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salatu wasalam says,
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
in a beautiful dua of his, which is more for us than it is for him. He says, Allahumma inni a'tadiru ilayk. Oh Allah, I apologize to you. من مظلوم ظلم بحضرتي فلم أنصر. For not helping somebody who was oppressed in my presence. Whenever they could, they would always support and stand for those who are being oppressed. But of course, they themselves are the most oppressed. There's only so much they can do in those situations. Helping out, raising awareness, keeping communications, using these phones for good. Don't think that just because you're not physically next to the person that you can go out and say anything you want with these computers, with these phones, these keyboards, as they call them, keyboard warriors. SubhanAllah, they're saying all different types of things behind the keyboard, behind the safety of the keyboard, because nobody will find. But we know if we can get away from people, we can't get away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Dua Humayn, you mentioned that we're seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from those sins that we commit, which even pass by and kiram al-katibin alladhina wakkaltum. Even the angels, perhaps, some sins they may miss, but Allah doesn't miss them. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. If you do one atom, one speck of a good deed, you'll see the rahmah.
Subhanallah.
And if you do one speck of sin, you'll see it's happening. Always keeping in mind the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And always doing your best to keep this promise to say the Shuhada. We're here tonight mentioning his name and these Majālis, of course, alhamdulillah, Muharram, and throughout the year. We're making this pledge. Say the Shuhada, we're saying, Labbaik ya Husain, Labbaik ya Da'i Allah. Labbaik means I'm here at your service, Ya Aba Abdullah. I'm here to answer your call, Ya Aba Abdullah. If I couldn't back then I am doing so now. Always keep that in mind. Say, I have a pledge. I have a promise to say the Shuhada. I made a promise. I'll do my best to follow his commands, to follow his orders. And nowadays, and throughout history, this is our pledge, and inshallah, we do what we can to keep it. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. These are blessings. And inshallah they stay. And inshallah these centers they stay. They grow, the communities grow, inshallah. And inshallah they have the blessing of continuing these Majālis. These Majālis are the cause and the reason for many barakat, many blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Attending them is very important. Attending them for the youth especially. There's so many gaps sometimes in our hearts and in our spirits and in our souls, which can only be filled with these Majālis. Which can only be filled by reading the du'as, reading the ziyarat, studying them, seeing how Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, their connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and seeing that if somebody in this world has no one to support him but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has everything. And if somebody has everyone to support him, which is pretty much impossible, because if one group is supporting you, another group is against you. That's how it is. That's how it is. The satisfaction of people will never be understood. One day they want this. One day they want that. One day this is the style. One day this is the music. One day it's that. If you're with one group, you're against another group. So on and so forth. وَلِذَا اللَّهِ غَايَةُ اللَّهِ تُتْرَكْ. The satisfaction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Which of course, as Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam says, that Allah gabana ahlul bayt. Our satisfaction is the satisfaction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the satisfaction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a ghaya, is a goal that should never be left. Always. Al-Imām alayhi sallallahu wa sallam one of his companions, his name is Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman. He is one of the greatest companions of the Imam. And in fact, the Imam and Ahlul Bayt himself say that he was the Salman of his time. Salman ibn Ahlul Bayt. What a great man he was. And that's saying little about him. Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman, as the Imam say, was the Salman of that time. People spoke about him. People from the lovers of the Of course, if those enemies speak about somebody, the mu'mineen, nothing to worry about. But even people that had love of the they're speaking about him. There are rumors being spread about him. This great companion of the Imam. As a side note, Nabi Allah Musa, Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, one time he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "Oh Allah, I ask for you to not let anybody say something about me which is not true." It's a beautiful dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and this is, by the way, in the book compiling the hadith al-Qudsi, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not of the Quran. Beautiful words though. Words with his prophets, and so on and so forth. He says, "Oh Allah, please make it so that nobody says something untruthful about me, lies about me." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "I haven't done that with myself. How with you then?" People speak against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. Against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator, sustainer, the one who created us in the first place, the one who's blessing us every day with unlimited blessings, innumerable blessings. Allah says, "I'm not free from these words. If people speak against me, people spread lies about me, then how with you, O Muslim?" Same thing with Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. Of course, as we mentioned last night, people have nothing against them. There's nothing to hold against them. Everything they do is pure goodness, pure justice, pure righteousness. We spread lies. Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman, and anyone that, of course, follows Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam will most likely face the same thing. That should never bring us down. Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman, one day, he comes and complains to the Imam that people are saying things against me, people are spreading lies about me. Complaining to him, of course, it's not wrong to go, especially, for example, in du'as, and as well as with the mu'mineen, and kind of explain your difficult situation. It brings off some stress, of course. The companions of the Imams did the same thing. They came to him and he said, "People are always speaking about me. People are always saying bad things about me." As he was speaking with the Imam, some people came to visit the Imam. A group of people came to visit the Imam. So the Imam told Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman to go and hide behind the curtains, because he knows who these people are. They came. The Imam welcomed them. They came to speak about Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman. Spread the rumors about him to the Imam and say he's so and so, he's such and such, he's this kind of evil person, and so on and so forth. He does these sins. And Yunus can hear all of this. He's right behind the curtains. The Imam welcomes them. After they finish, he lets them go. Yunus, after they all left, the Imam calls Yunus to come. And he says to him, and Yunus, by the way, is crying, because just again, in the presence of the Imam, people are saying these lies against him. The Imam told him, "Ya Yunus, what do you have to do with the satisfaction of people if your Imam is satisfied with you? What do you have? Let them speak against you. As long as you know what you're doing is right, as long as you're keeping, first and foremost, the satisfaction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, satisfaction of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, satisfaction of the Imam Ra'atan radiallahu ta'ala for Rajah al-Sharif. Satisfaction of nobody else matters. What does it hurt you, O Yunus, if your Imam is pleased with you?" And the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam would often say that these bodies of yours, these souls of yours, have no price but heaven. Have no price but heaven. So don't sell them for anything less than heaven. No price. How many times in our daily lives are we put in a situation where it's either Allah or the servant of Allah? It's either our Imam, the Imam of Huda, the Imam of guidance, the Imam of righteousness, or the Imam, as we have in the Quran, we have made them that they're Imams. They guide people towards where? Guide people towards the fire. Is it the Imam of Huda, the Imam of guidance, the one that takes you to heaven? Or is it the Imam of Huda that takes you to heaven? Every day, before any action of yours, always ask yourself, is this something my Imam would want? I know. I'm a lover of Sayyidina Shuhada. I love him so much. My love for him cannot be described. I love him. But I want his love for me as well. Is this action I'm going to take right now? With my eyes, with my ears, with my tongue, these words that I'm going to say, my feet, this place that I'm about to go to right now, and so on and so forth. With my hands, is this going to make my Imam happy with me? Or not really upset? Inshallah, we can keep that in mind. And if we place first and foremost the satisfaction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with our intentions, with our hearts, aligning our intentions and hearts with the Imams, with the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, aligning our actions, responding to Sayyidina Shuhada alayhi salatu wa salam, saying, Labbayka da'i Allah, if I wasn't there for you to come for that, I'm here now supporting you. I'm here now in our time supporting the Imam of our time, Allah ta'ala, for the Sharif. I'm here answering your call. Inshallah. Of course, in these days especially, Safar, from all the way from before Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu arrived in Karbala, Sayyidina Shuhada alayhi salatu and his family, all the way to when they got back from Medina after everything. What did they see? What tragedies did they see? What tragedies did the women, the children, Zayn al-Abidin who was in such a state, did they see in Karbala? Did they see on the way from Karbala to Kufa? On the way from Kufa to Sham? And on the way from Sham back to Karbala to see their family? They didn't give them the right to mourn for them, to stay there. They've lost all the family members of theirs. They've lost their Imam, Sayyidina Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam. How did that end in the street? Right away, next day. The captives. Captives as if there were some random people, as if they were, as the Imam of our times, as if they were slaves. It's been mentioned in some of the history books, and of course, the first of Safar, as we know, is the arrival of the captives to Sham. What happened in Sham? What happened before, though, and if the lights can be turned off as well. 3 days before, the captives were brought inside the city of Sham. They were held up at the gates. Why was that? Why was that? Was there somewhere nice to sit and spend time? Yazid alayhi salam had ordered for the city to be decorated. The city of Sham to be decorated. Keep the captives outside. Let us prepare the city. Prepare the city for what? For the captives, the family members of Sayyidina Shuhada alayhi salatu Zainab, Kulthum, Sakina. The children, the women, they've never experienced anything like this in their lives. They were always honored, they were always respected. The Imam was always there. Abu Fadl al-Abbas was always there to protect them. Even in Karbala, they had hope so long that Abu Fadl al-Abbas was there to protect them. So long as he was there. Sayyidina Shuhada himself says to his brother Abu Fadl al-Abbas, he says, if you go out there and fight and get killed, yeah, Abbas, Who's there to protect me? Who's there to protect the women, the children? If you go, my whole army will collapse. If you go, you'll break my back, Ya Abbas. Even in Ashura, at least they had them. After Ashura, what did they have? 3 days outside the city of Sham, preparing decorations, bringing singers, bringing dancers, bringing drums, instruments, to celebrate the so-called victory of Yazid against those who revolted against him. أجركم الله يا مؤمنين. The captives of Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salam were brought into the city of Damascus, into Sham, after being held outside for 3 days, out in the sun, in order for the city to be prepared for their entry. Ya Mu'mineen, they were brought in the city of Sham, with the enemy surrounding them, cheering, clapping, celebrating the death of the martyrs of Karbala, celebrating the captivity of Zainab, of Ruqayya, of Zakina. How much did this hurt the hearts of Ahl al-Bayt? They were placed in the ruins to spend their stay in Sham. One of these nights, on a night like this, one of the children of Aba Abdullah, she is in her sleep, and she sees her father in a dream. She misses her father, Husain, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old girl. What are the children like at this age? So innocent, so pure, so clean, so soft at this age. She sees her father Husain in a dream. She was always told in the days before that your father is out on a journey. Yes, he was out on a journey in Karbala. She wakes up, she's crying for her father Husain. She asks her Aunt Zainab, Amma ayna abi? Oh, Aunt Zainab, where is my father Husain? I just saw him in a dream now. I want to see him. I want to see my father Husain. I haven't seen him since Karbala. The cries, the screaming was loud. Yazid was taking a nap at the time. He wakes up from the cries. He asks his guards, what is the situation? They said to him that one of the children of Husain is crying. She wants her father. Ya Mu'mineen, Yazid tells them she wants his father, she wants her father. Take her father's head to her. Let her see her father. They brought the head of Aba Abdullah al-Husain in a washtub, covered to Sakina. She says to them, I did not ask for food. I asked for my father Husain. They said to her, your father is here, what you wanted to hear. They lifted the cover. She saw the head his head. Whose head is this in front of me? That means from what the head of Aba Abdullah faced, she couldn't recognize the head of her own father, Husain. One of the ladies in Sham took a rock previously and threw it at the forehead of Aba Abdullah al-Husain as it was on a spear. She couldn't recognize the head in front of her. They said, this is the head of Husain. This is the head of your father. Ya Mu'mineen. She grabs the head of her father. She hugs the head of her father and she starts to speak to him. Abata, oh father, man ذا الذي خضبك بدمائك? Who was the one who soaked your beard with your blood? Husain, Husain, Husain. يا أبتاه من ذا الذي قطع وريديك? Who was the one who severed your head from your body? يا أبا عبد الله. يا أبتاه من ذا الذي يأتمني على صغر سني? Who was the one who made me an orphan at such a young age? She's speaking to her father. She starts to kiss her father's face. She hugs the head of her father and begins to cry very loudly. Ya Mu'mineen, all of a sudden, no more sound is coming from this child. Al-Imām Zayn al-Abidin says to his aunt, Amma Zaynab, lift the child from her father's head, for she has left this dunya, seeing her father's head in this situation. Husain, 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 Husain. إلهك اسمك العظيم الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والنصر، واجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه وشيعته ومحبيه والممتثلين لأوامره. إلهنا اقض حوائجنا، يسر علينا أمورنا، اشف مرضانا، عجل في فرج مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان، وإلى أرواح من مات على الإيمان وموتى الحاضرين. رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة مسبوقة بالصلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
يا حسين، يا حسين، يا